Good morning and welcome. It's Corporate Governance Platform, brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. I am Funmi Omoburiu. Let me remind you that ICSAN is a leading recognized professional body in Nigeria that is dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. On the program this morning, we want to look at the managing director's responsibilities as a delegate of the board and head of management. All right, our guest on the program this morning is Mrs. MARIAM ADEBAYO, FCIS, chairman of the Ogun State chapter of ICSAN. She's also managing partner in Site Solicitors. Good morning, Mrs. ADEBAYO.
Good morning, madam. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Hope you're good as well.
I'm very well.
All right. Also with me in the studio is Mr. Delegate, FCIS, Head of Research, ICSAN. Good morning, Mr. Ketefe.
Good morning, Fumi. Good morning to you, our guest, Mrs. MARIAM ADEBAYO, FCIS, and all our listeners. Good morning to you.
All right, so we're going to take this message. Of course, we'll be right back.
The world is constantly evolving into a knowledge-based economy where skills and competencies constitute the lifeblood of public and corporate governance. You therefore need to empower yourself to fit into this new world by gaining basic knowledge and improving your skill set in the governance-focused disciplines. That is why every aspiring as well as practicing professional in governance field needs ICSAN.
ICSAN. What is ICSAN?
ICSAN is a leading statutorily established professional body dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. ICSAN members are trained as chartered secretaries and administrators.
Who are chartered secretaries and administrators?
Chartered secretaries are high-ranking governance professionals with a broad base of skills, unique amongst other professions. They are trained in law, finance, accounting, administration, strategy development, and corporate governance. In today's world, chartered secretaries and administrators discharge a wide range of duties and responsibilities, including functioning as chairmen of companies, executive directors, non-executive directors, company secretaries, risk managers, compliance managers, board evaluators, and corporate governance evaluators.
That is interesting. How then do I become a chartered secretary and administrator?
Good. Go to the Institute's website, www.icsan.org. You can also visit the National Secretariat of ICSAN at Plot 6, Elephant Cement Way, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos, to get full information on how to become members. ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
All right, as I said earlier, we're looking at the managing director's responsibilities as a delegate of the board and head of management. All right, Mrs. ADEBAYO, let's look at the basic roles of the managing director.
Okay, the managing director is actually an employee of the company at any point in time who is involved in the day-to-day management of the company. He serves as the head of the company in trying to ensure the proper implementation of the achievement of the goals of the company. Employees relate and report to him at every point in time, and he must ensure at the same time that he protects and promotes the interest of the company in whatever decision he takes that will affect the company or relates to the company. At the same time, one other basic role that the MD or the managing director performs is to ensure that he is responsible for the overall success of the company, right? Where the company goes wrong, is on his head. Where the company runs well, is also on the MD's head. At every point in time, he must ensure the overall success of the company and also try to ensure the visions and missions of the company are achieved. Those are basically the rules of the MD.
All right. Now, why is it not desirable in corporate governance for the managing director to also function as chairman of the family?
If you have to look at the corporate governance codes, by page 42 of that, says that the position of the chairman and the MD should be separate at every point in time. same person cannot combine both or work as both. And part of the reason for this is because the chairman is expected to be a non-executive director of the company, who must not be involved in the day-to-day running of the company. And earlier on I mentioned that the MD is involved in the day-to-day running of the company. If as the MD is involved in the day-to-day running of the company, then how can you say that the chairman who will be involved in the day-to-day running of the company? So it's contradictory, right? And at the same time, you look at it from the fact that where the MD sits as the chairman of the company as well, there is likely to be conflict of interest. Because as the MD is supposed to protect the interest of the company and protect the interest of his employees at the same time. While as the chairman, and it's possible that the chairman some decisions will be taken that will be against the employees. If you're sitting as the chairman, how can you, as you're sitting as the chairman and the MD, how can you relate or work with things? So it has to be different.
Okay. Now, let's look at, the functions of the managing director as a delegate of the board. What are his functions? Are they different from the basic roles he plays as a managing director?
Oh, well, where the managing director acts as a delegate of the board, right? He represents the interest of some people. That is why he's sitting on the board, right? He acts as, he's answerable to the board at every point in time because he's an employee. Right? That's the first thing we should always remember. The MD is an employee of the company, right? And he's answerable to the board. So he's sitting as a delegate, he's able to manage the organization and routine operations of the company. He's the one that comes onto the board and that passes on to the company what has been decisions reached at the board meeting, right? What the board is right at and what should be done. He takes the decision back to the company and allows the company relate and determine what exactly how it should be carried out. So the same way if he functions as a delegate of the company, of the board, right? He sits on the board as a representative of the company as well as the representative of other employees, right? He tries to seek to protect their interests at such board meetings. That is one of the reasons why he sits as a delegate of the board. The same way while he sits as the delegate of the board, he assumes the representative. He has assumed the responsibility of setting the direction through which will help the board to determine what to do. He passes on to the board decisions or issues relating to the company and allow the board to decide, make decisions on things. Right? So in such a way, he's responsible and answerable to the board. If he takes the decisions there or he takes the issues there, it's there for the board to determine how exactly they want things to be handled. So as a delegate is still an employee who is answerable to the board at every point in time.
All right. What about his functions as head of management?
Like I mentioned earlier, his functions as the head of management is relating to that as the basic roles of a managing director. He must ensure that it protects the interests of the company as a whole at every point in time, and must steer the company, right, take the company in such a way to achieve his goals, visions, and missions. Everything he has to do at the head of the management is to ensure that the best interest of the company and that of the staff is protected at every point in time. So he has the opportunity and the responsibility to take decisions that would affect and would be on the best interest of the company, being the head of the management, because he's the one that manages and directs the way the company is being run. He only reports back to the board.
All right, there's a provision in the Code of Corporate Governance that the MDCO should declare any conflict of interest on appointment and annually thereafter. Now, what do you think is the rationale for this provision?
Okay, the principle says that the director should declare any appointment and annually thereafter. And the rationale behind it is to ensure, to disclose and to ensure that there are no conflicting interests at any point in time, where he's aware of any potential conflict of interest that could undermine or be detrimental to his management of the company he has to say it out. He has to make everybody aware and then allow the board to take decisions on this. So the rationale behind it is to avoid issues, right? To avoid things that will become detrimental or would affect the company negatively at the end of the day. That is why it is advised that such directors should declare any appointments that they have, and it should be done annually, right? Or any appointment that would come as a conflict of interest to the position they hold at that point in time, so that there will be no issue of favoritism at any point in time, right? Or there will not be any issue that would undermine his responsibilities in any of the companies he's sitting on.
What advice do you have for MD CEOs of companies in Nigeria on issue of upholding tenets of corporate governance?
Well, okay, on only the tenets of corporate governance, we must always ensure there's transparency. Those are part of the advice I would give. The company, the directors must be transparent in all they're doing. There must be auditor independence, right? And transparency also, auditor independence and transparency must be maintained. Because where you start having issues of the auditors not being independent, somebody giving them advice, or somebody giving opinions that they should take to them, there are issues of that company. Corporate governance principles are not being upheld at that time, right? There's also that need to always prioritize risk management. Risk management is something that affects the company, and at the end of the day could make the company go into ruin. So we must ensure, as I advise, that risk management must be prioritized at every point in time. There's also the need for the board, for there to be board performance evaluation at every point in time. You must evaluate how the board members are going on. Are they working well in terms of the tenets of the company? Is they aligning with the corporate governance principles? What exactly are the issues on ground? What do you think could cause problems in the future? Right? The same way, ensure that you appoint competent people onto your board at every point in time. When you have competent hands, then it helps you. It assures you of the fact that the company would actually be steered in a good way. The vision and the mission of the company will be achieved at that point. Right? Then integrity is key. Right? You must ensure that the members you have, apart from being competent, also hold themselves in high esteem, and their integrity goes far with that. Professional competence must also be considered. Right? You must ensure that the people you have on your board that would help you put up with the corporate governance principles are competent and also professional enough to do so on behalf of the company.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. MARIAM ADEBAYO, FCIS Chairman, Ogun State Chapter of ICSAN, Managing Partner, Insight Solicitors. Thank you for joining us on Corporate Governance Platform this morning.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Ketefe, does ICSAN have any form of training to prepare aspiring professionals for role of Managing Director?
Thank you very much, Fumi, for that question. I say that the answer is a straight yes.
Okay.
We have a training department that is very vibrant. The department is busy all over the years, providing quality training in virtually all areas of corporate governance, including the know-how on the roles, function, and responsibilities of the managing directors of companies and of other corporate entities.
Okay.
And as I said, the training being provided by the Institute through our training department is very expansive and covers the whole gamut of corporate governance. We provide training on themes like effectiveness of the board, induction and continuous trainings of directors, board evaluation, corporate governance audit, role of non-executive directors, role of executive directors, succession planning, risk management, sustainability, among other areas of corporate governance. And this has been going on for many years. The Institute has even acquired a reputation as a top provider of quality training on corporate governance team in Nigeria. So the Institute also provides specialized and customized training for any company or organization that demands it. Many organizations have taken advantage of this in-house form of training to boost the capacity of their top managers and other staff. So I will enjoin all other companies that are yet to take advantage of this opportunity to do so. So thank you very much for this.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Delegate of FCIS, Head of Research, ICSAN. All right, that's a bit this morning on Corporate Governance Platform, brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. We'll return again next week, Wednesday, 10:15 a.m., right on the 89.7 FM. I am Funmi Omoburiu. Enjoy the rest of the day.